AP Macro FRQ number Form B. The government replaces the income tax with a national sales tax that generates the same revenue. Assume throughout the question the economy stays at full employment. What is the effect of the change in tax policy on each of the following? So if you are, in essence, taxing income, now remember, income can be turned into two things. It either is consumption. There's only two things we can do with our money. We can either spend it, consumption, or we can save it. The understanding here is that if you're taxing income, not only you're taxing consumption, but you're also taxing savings. But if you had a national sales tax, this is only a tax on things that are bought. So in this instance, with the national sales tax, you would only be taxing consumption, not savings. Not savings, only consumption, because it is a national sales tax. So the idea here is that consumption would go down because now people are taxed more. But savings, you could put your money in savings and not be taxed on it, so that implies that people would save more. I hope I said that okay. Using a correctly labeled graph of the loanable funds market, explain how the change in tax policy will affect each of the following. So loanable funds market is supply of loanable funds, demand for loanable funds, quantity of loanable funds on the horizontal, real interest rate. Best way to think of loanable funds is just think of it as money in the banks. Think of it as a pile of money in the banks. If people start saving more, if savings goes up, we imply that more people are putting their money in the banks. Therefore, the supply of loanable funds would increase, shift to the right. This is obviously going to drive down the real interest rate. This should make sense, but sometimes I'm working with students tutoring and they don't seem to get that. I mean, the idea, obviously, if there's more money in the banks, banks make their profits by loaning money out. So if they have a ton of money, obviously the price, the interest rate, the price of money would fall. They want to loan it out quicker, so they lower the interest rate so more people are attracted to come in and take out loans. This makes sense with anything, though. If you have 3 cats, right, what do you sell each cat for? Let's just say it's $50 each. I don't know what kind of cats you have, but if you 3 cats, you know these cats, right? You hang out with them, you know their names, you feed them, you take care of them, they sleep on your feet at night. 3 cats, if you wanted to sell them, you'd charge $50 for them. But if you had 300 cats in your house, now you wake up in the middle of the night and you got to go to the bathroom. You got 300 cats. You just kick cats out of the way to get to the bathroom. Obviously, if you wanted to sell these cats, you're going to sell them for much less than you would the 3 cats. And this should make sense. This works even well with money. If there's a lot of money, just like when there's a lot of cats, intuitively, we know the price would go down. And the interest rate is the price of money. So your real interest rate would go down. If real interest rates go down, people are going to invest more and take out more loans. I hope that makes sense. This is a stock question. They ask this a lot. Understand that when the real interest rate goes down, and we're going to answer it the same way every time, investment goes up. When investment goes up, we could assume some of that is in capital formation. There's more capital goods being produced. When there's more capital formation, long-run growth would increase. Recognize that this long-run economic growth question this part can be changed. I could have said what happens to the PPC. You would have said it shifts outward. I could have also asked you what happens to your long-run aggregate supply curve, because these two are the same thing. Your long-run aggregate supply curve would shift to the right. I could have also said what happened to potential, that's not potential, just believe it is, potential real GDP, and that would have increased also. So we could have said economic growth, long-run growth, PPC, long-run aggregate supply, potential real GDP. The College Board just switches the words out. And you have to know that anytime the real interest rate goes down, investment goes up, capital formation obviously increases. All right. Be safe, guys. Thanks. Bye.